Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And my question of today is, what is your number one favorite crypto? The reason I am asking is because I'm always wondering what coins I should cover. Right now, I'm doing mostly XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, VeChain, but a lot of you guys have also said in the comment section, cover Stellar more often, Stellar this, Stellar that, and Holochain this, Holochain that. I always read, I always check, I always listen. All right, so just stay tuned. Today, we're also talking a little bit about Stellar because you guys requested it. If you have any other tokens, other coin, just put it down below in the comment section. 193 million XRP moved between Binance and top-tier crypto custodian. Over the past 13 hours, a whopping 193 million XRP has been shifted by the largest crypto exchange by volume, Binance. I get so many questions every single day about what this means, what we should be thinking. You would think that after I've made so many videos that people would understand, huh? But it's so ridiculously difficult to point exactly to what is going on here, who exactly transferred something, why it was transferred, if it's a bullish or a bearish thing, as any transfer can have two sides. Any transfer can mean something completely different, so it's almost impossible to know. The kind of baseline we always use is if it's taken from an exchange to an unknown wallet, it is usually a transfer of somebody who just bought it, who wants to now put it into cold storage. If it is a transfer from an unknown wallet to an exchange, it is either a big custodian transfer, which basically means they're taking their money from wherever it was to, for example, a Coinbase so that they can keep their money, or it has been put somewhere because they want to sell it. And that is the only things we're always kind of assuming here. If it is between an exchange and an exchange, it could be somebody selling it. It could be somebody just sending it. It could be anything. So that is kind of off limits. It's all about where it goes towards. Unknown, usually good, to a exchange, usually bad. Is it really the truth? 95% of the time it will be something different or for a reason we do not know. But this is kind of the baseline that we often use to determine something. Because the one is about exchange outflows, the other one is about exchange inflows, which a lot of people use to trade with or to kind of measure or calculate or predict what's going to happen to the price following what's happening to the money on exchanges. Having said that, the next big thing for XRP is most likely going to be April 6th, which is right around the corner now. It's going to be in 2 days from now. A lot of people must be wondering what is going to happen on April 6th. Well, let's quickly read through. Ripple can only agree with the SEC on redaction or sealing of 2 of the 4 core documents. In light of Tuesday's hearing, the motions to seal are likely just a sideshow. This is what's been happening. However, again, you're seeing it here already. In light of Tuesday's hearing, in Ripple's legal dispute against the SEC, we've been hearing quite a lot about the newest motion to seal, which a lot of people, or what is it called now? Motion to seal. People are really excited about that, even though it's really not that big of a deal. The only part I can say that is good is that Ripple can hopefully keep some of their strategy private. In the end, though, as an XRP investor, I'm not quite sure if I would have liked those documents better than them to keep it private, so I'm not quite sure about that. However, for Ripple, it's a win, so I guess let's give it a thumbs up. What's interesting, though, is April 6th, right? That's the real stuff. This motion to seal, it's meh, to be honest. Attorney Jeremy Hogan summed up that the documents are merely a sideshow and pointed out that the next big event will take place on Tuesday, April 6th. We've been telling this for a couple of days now, but okay. That's when a telephonic discovery conference will take place to discuss Ripple's motion to disclose the SEC documents regarding the classifications of Bitcoin and Ethereum as non-securities. This is not completely true. It is true that is going to be discussed, but the primary thing is about the SEC's thoughts about things and what the SEC also discussed about XRP. Everything surrounding the SEC's thoughts, the SEC documents surrounding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, whether or not they should be kind of, so to speak, in the public domain, or at least for Ripple to see, or whether or not they should stay hidden because they're not relevant. Because the SEC already provided a lot of documents and things that are relevant. The SEC is now claiming that all these documents would be such a huge burden, but for no real good purpose because it wouldn't really benefit anybody. And the judge now has to decide whether or not it is actually too much of a burden, whether or not they kind of have to close down on the amount of documents, and whether or not Ripple is crazy for demanding something like that, or if it's really relevant and usual. Now, the reason I'm really making some big exaggeration on this one right now is because we have earlier seen one of the judges say that there's a very big difference between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. It's a negative thing, but it's also a positive thing. Why? The positive thing is because she knows about crypto, so she understands then that things are different, that they have different rules, different kind of set playbooks. In a different sense, it's also really bad because her knowing it's different could also kind of be another indication that, well, we're going to classify them different. So whatever happened to Bitcoin and Ethereum, it doesn't matter for this case specifically. Who and what judge exactly said that and which one is going to show it right now or listen to this? I'm not quite sure about that. You can look it up for yourself. But all right. In SEC v. Ripple, there's been a lot of activity regarding motions to seal documents and some other minor disclosure issues. One should not lose sight of the forest in the trees or for the trees. These motions are not critical to the case. The next big event is April 6th. As Hogan further elicited, it is difficult to comment on the arguments about the motions to seal the Ripple documents because the public does not know what is inside of these documents. What I can say for sure is that Ripple does not want the public to see them, he said. One can only speculate about the motivation behind the trench warfare. As Hogan notes, well, once more, this is not completely true either. Ripple has actually said it before that this is actually including strategy for XRP and for XRP's future and blah, blah, blah. And I already yesterday talked about this could have to do something with, for example, Ripple having a Bank of America partnership where, again, how XRP is going to be utilized in all of this, that type of stuff you don't want to have in public, right? Or how XRP could be utilized for this, that, for cross-border payment, stuff like that. You might not want to make that public. You might also say Ripple wants to hide documents that are talking about selling XRP on top of our heads. Not quite sure. I'm saying it could be both. And I can find logic in them wanting to hide this stuff too. Hogan notes, however, is the fight becoming personal for the SEC, or does the SEC believe that these are PR issues at play here? This probably won't affect the case directly, but a letter from a security lawyer to Ripple saying it will likely get sued and subject employees and business partners to litigation is not good PR for Ripple, even if it was 9 years ago. And that again sparks the question, what is the SEC doing here? Why are they overreaching? Do they want to do this to make Ripple look bad? Do they want to do this to make the team look bad, to make the team look bad and make us lose faith? Meanwhile, the lawyer again stated via Twitter that the SEC itself seems unsure whether it has enough evidence against Ripple. Had the US SEC agency gathered sufficient facts in advance of the lawsuit, which they had 8 years to prepare for, by the way, it could have sought an injunction to prevent Ripple from violating the law. Hogan discussed, I wonder if the SEC truly believes Ripple is violating the law. Why didn't it move for a preliminary injunction? They clearly have done so in other cases. The standard is one of substantial likelihood of success. And I could already kind of come in here once more saying, well, we do not yet know if the SEC truly believes XRP is a security or if they want to rule out this possibility by a lawsuit like this. We all know the SEC has very often done lawsuits because that's the only way they get things done, purely to rule something out. And that might be the case here once more. The question, however, is then, if that was the case, why overreach? Why go after Ripple's employees? Why make them look bad in so many different cases? Is that to see how they would respond? Is that to see how they would defend themselves? Or is there another motive behind that? That is something we will not know, but that is something we should be thinking about. And perhaps the SEC doesn't have the facts and believes it will procure the facts through discovery. Another thing you might think here. Maybe the SEC didn't really have too much to stand on. They were like, well, we got to sue them. What do we do? They're like, okay, let's sue them. We'll figure it out along the way. And that's what they're trying right now, to get as many documents for Ripple as possible because they have no points to stand on. By the way, this is another confirmation that the partial settlement, which we were discussing a couple of days ago, has some validity to the claim. I keep on saying that. I do think something like that might occur where everybody on the secondary market who has not gotten anything to do with Ripple themselves is just going to be cleared. Because right now, the whole lawsuit is about all XRP ever sold. Because you might be thinking, oh, it's only about Ripple's XRP ever. Well, yeah, but Ripple's XRP, theoretically speaking, following the SEC kind of thought about things, is all XRP. Or perhaps it's worried about the substantial nature of the bond and damages it would have to pay if it lost. In any case, the failure to file for a preliminary injunction is not a sign of SEC strength. And so, man, this is going to be really crazy. Now, again, to kind of conclude again, what's going to be happening on Tuesday, we got to have a telephonic hearing, which means if you really want to, you can actually also listen in, right? I believe these things are all public because I believe a couple of people have before said these telephonic hearings, you can just dial in and also listen to it. But a lot of people are just trying to make the call really annoying by shouting things and saying XRP the standard or saying la la la, just crazy stuff like that. I'm laughing now because it's pretty funny, but it's really annoying in a lawsuit like that. So I'm not exactly sure why they didn't just make it audio only or listen only. I guess maybe that's not possible through a telephonic hearing. Once more, I'm not in the US. I've never heard of telephonic hearings ever in my life before. But whatever. Whatever. It's the way it goes. I think you can dial in if you want to. Just check it out for yourself. However, yeah, that date is going to be where we'll get some new info about Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP documents regarding the SEC and whether or not they can or will be made public. And that is also another kind of attack point for Ripple because, well, if it is going to be made public, or at least if it's going to be handed over to Ripple, that would be a really, really nice attack, right? Or a really nice basis because you can always kind of come back and say, well, but in the SEC v Bitcoin, in the SEC v Ethereum, or in those specific cases, you thought about this differently. What has changed your mind? And why are you handling XRP different than Bitcoin or Ethereum? That is what's going to happen. That's what's going to come up. And that's why we want everything to be clear and why we want to have all those documents, because that's a good basis. Logically, if you have something you don't want others to have, you're going to try to hide it, right? The SEC should be acting out of our protection. Theoretically speaking, they should give every document they have and every thought they have public, make it public, because, well, as I said before in a couple of videos, we should know their thoughts. We should know exactly what they're thinking when discussing something. Maybe not the first version, but the end version we should know, because that will ultimately decide how we should view cryptos too, because they should have the better opinion about securities, right? They should be able to spot them. They should be able to know. If they thought about something like, this might be a security they're going to investigate, if they put that stuff public, that's really nice because we might learn something from that and might actually keep more money by not investing into scams or unregistered securities. Then, Bakkt has launched its own Bitcoin app and announced a Starbucks partnership. All I'm just quickly showing once more is, man, if you really don't think crypto is going to be the future, you're maybe on the wrong horse, or you're maybe looking at the wrong horse. Then once more, if you're wondering where I am using to trade, if you're in the US, I'm not sure if a VPN will just do you good, or Canada, whatever, but go check it out. Link is down below. I'm using this to trade Bitcoin and a lot of other coins, but you can also trade like things like S&P on here, even the Dow Jones. You can trade anything on here. You can trade France? You can trade France? But I don't know. Maybe that's an index in France itself. Because how would you be able to trade France, Japan, or Spain? Man, I have no idea how this works. Maybe I'm dumb. Holy smokes, I never knew you could trade countries like that. Can you? What if a part in this means you have a part in a country like that? No, maybe it's no, it wouldn't be GDP. What is this about? I have no idea. I'm sorry that I didn't know. I was a little bit bamboozled, but you can trade a lot of things is what I wanted to say. It's pretty damn cool. I use it a lot right now. Mostly for Bitcoin, however, because that one is looking juicy. And it really follows the pattern quite nicely. But yeah, link is down below for that one. You have some other features on there too. Then, Justin Bennett said VET pullbacks are being absorbed at higher prices. Higher lows into resistance is bullish. Maybe something like this, as long as Bitcoin remains relatively stable. And you can quickly see here what he's made. It's looking really juicy and interesting as well. I like it. Honestly, I'm really extremely bullish about VeChain. A lot of people are saying, yeah, this is looking really promising. Not necessarily his analysis on its own, but most indicators, most analysis are pointing out to be bullish on VeChain. Guys, I keep saying it. It's pretty smart to have it from the perspective that you get VeChain Thor for free. It's just free money. For having VET, and I like VET, and I want to keep VET for a very long time. Yeah, I mean, I really love it. I don't know. I just really love it because you get stuff for free. Maybe that's a little... Maybe I'm dumb. Once more, maybe I'm stupid. This is all not financial advice, by the way. Stellar XLM, what it is worth, and should you be investing? So I kind of already gave the video a little bit of a different twist. I didn't expect myself to talk so much about April 6th. I guess I'm going to have to make the title somewhere like that. I wanted to talk more a little bit about Stellar and XRP and what the differences were, but I guess we're going to leave that for a different video. I've already done like 2 or 3 of those in the past anyway. Let's just quickly say what the advantages of Stellar are over Ripple. Debatable, but let's just quickly talk about what they wrote down. I want to quickly say here that I personally believe Stellar is more for the people, Ripple/XRP is more for the banks. The co-founder of XRP/Ripple is now also the co-founder of Stellar, which was founded a little bit later. And yeah, I don't really hear too much about Stellar anymore, to be honest. Not really that much news. Advantages Stellar has over Ripple. The platforms differ significantly, however, in their goals. Ripple was created so that banks could make transfers around the world in a matter of seconds for a meager price. It improved the efficiency of banks and financial systems. Stellar, on the other hand, was built with the average user in mind and for those in developing countries. The platform provides access to the global economy through simple, quick, and low-cost transactions, while the average person can use Ripple and banks can use Stellar. They were each designed for specific users to provide a more efficient experience to their target markets. Let's just quickly stick with that for right now. Once more, I'm not really hearing too much news on Stellar anymore. I have a couple of websites where I kind of pull data from and pull news from, and I just click through everything. There's some of these aggregators who put up all the news. But Stellar is never going trending anymore. They got nothing crazy going on for themselves. The price has also been kind of lackluster, which I am assuming is mostly because they had a huge surge at the beginning of the year, and right now they're falling back a little bit. However, they've also fallen really quite far down in the rankings here, where they were like 8th or so before. Right now they're 15. So if you're honestly asking me what's happening, I'm not quite sure. Filecoin is coming in, Terra is coming in, Polkadot is coming in strong, BNB is even coming into this list, and they've just been pushed out slowly but surely. So yeah, it's a little bit sad, but hey, that's the way it sometimes goes in this space. Thank you guys all for watching this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody.